All right, so we're back in my basement today, and as you guys can tell from the title, because I'm completely unoriginal and can't think of something clickbaity enough, I got a brand new Ohio Power Bar 20 kg version, which makes the conversion official from the old imperial system to the metric system, and it just so happens that it coincides with the day after Election Day. Donald Trump is now the president, and many of my friends are talking about going to Canada, and I'm just talking about going to kilos. And I thought I'd go ahead and give you a first impression video on it, only because I've talked about this bar in the past. I think it is kind of the gold standard when it comes to barbells these days, because the 20 kg version is IPF approved, and being that, it's also probably the most inexpensive bar when you take a look at all the other bars that are IPF approved by several $100s. So it's a great bargain for a great bar. And again, I've been talking about getting one for a while. I also thought it'd be good to give you my first impression on it, because if you look at some of the specs behind it on the Rogue website, it's actually very similar to what I've been using, which is the Westside Power Bar, in terms of they're both rated at the same tensile strength, or how much flexion the bar has. They both are rated as an aggressive knurl. So I thought I'd give you my first impressions to say if they're actually similar or not. The best way to test it is on a deadlift day. And it just so happens that I got the barbell in on a deadlift day. So the best day to test it is on that day. So I'm going to go test it, and I'm going to tell you about it. And that's the damn video. I want to give you guys my initial impression after deadlifting with the Ohio Power Bar for the first time. So as you guys saw, a 2x2 with 250 kilos or 551 pounds, then backed off a little bit and did 2 sets of 3 with 237.5 kilos, or what I think is 524 pounds. My math might be a little off, but definitely a heavy working session for me today. And again, prime time to test this bar, because speaking with my friends who have bought this bar, the first 2 things they always say is that it's super stiff and that the knurling is very aggressive. And to be honest, I've always taken that with a grain of salt, only because for them, it's usually their first experience with a true power bar coming from a usual gym bar, which of course is not going to have great knurling and is usually pretty whippy. So I've always taken that with a grain of salt. Given the fact that I've been training with a power bar for the past year, I have a lot of experience with aggressive, stiff bars. Sounds weird, but that's the way I like it. So I'm going to focus on those 2 aspects, the knurling and the whip, or the stiffness, because again, they're rated the same on the Rogue website. So as far as the knurling goes, I have to say I was let down by the Rogue Ohio Power Bar. While it was aggressive and I didn't have to use chalk for deadlifts, it was nowhere near what my Westside bar is, even now, considering again that I've been using it for the past year. The knurling on that thing is still noticeably more aggressive than the Rogue Ohio Power Bar. So definitely let down by that. But again, if you're coming from a normal gym bar, you're still going to find this to be extremely aggressive. As far as the stiffness of the bar goes, while they're rated the same tensile strength on the Rogue website, I have to say that I noticed that the Ohio Power Bar felt much more stiff. It could be, again, that it's a year newer, brand new out of the box. And again, I've been using the Westside bar for quite some time now, but it was noticeably stiffer in my opinion. One of the things I'll try to do is play a clip from last week on a similar deadlift workout, I think 255 kilos for 2, as compared to today on the new bar with 250 kilos for 2. So a 5 kilo difference. So there might be some differences that you can tell in the whip and flexion of the bar, but there is definitely a huge difference in feels between the 2, and you guys know how important feels are. So initial impressions, less aggressive knurl than the Westside bar, but much more stiff. Once I get some more time with it, both deadlifting, squatting, and benching, I'll be sure to do a full-blown review. If there's anything else you want me to cover specifically, let me know in the comment section below. And in the meantime, as always, thanks for watching, and stay big. And now I gotta finish the rest of my workout. Lots of hip thrusters. You like that?